Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to the Goosebumps video game. So, you can talk to your brother Chad, for as useless as he is in this game as a character, and go back to the house. Really though, the only reason you'd want to go back to the house is if you're trying to get all of the achievements and you wanted to dump several useless items of the nearly or approaching 80 useless items in the game that you would need to dump those down the dirty clothes hamper in the house, and then dump some other useless items into the bottomless pit of water, the well that was in the wash area. That we really saw nothing about that happen. It doesn't, however, you don't need to go back to finish the game. I've looked at a new walkthrough. This game has forced me to look at walkthroughs almost consistently throughout the game, and I now know what I missed, and it is the standard point and click adventure problem in a nutshell. And see, I can't even go where I need to go, so I'm going to go over here instead. In a nutshell, point-and-click adventure games, even a 2015 game like this made by Way Forward, and I still can't go where I need to go, so I'm going to have to keep on moving. You run into these problems of items just not being viewable. And particularly in this game, they did nothing as far as modern conveniences to help with that. There is no button as far as I know. I mean, I guess I could hit every single button on my Xbox controller and just see, like, maybe what, if any of those buttons would do anything. No, not really. Nope. Yeah. This, the D-pad shows you where you need to walk, I suppose. But left stick and right stick both move the cursor. Yeah. So there's nothing that to highlight what you need to click on. So apparently this cotton candy, this green cotton candy, which will be the thing that we need for green hair, can be collected. Also we can collect other colors of cotton candy. Seems like we're not actually taking any of the colors off, however. So pink, one of these might be purple, one of these might be pink, since they are abbreviating things. I have no idea why they're abbreviating things. It seems like that's unnecessary and not helpful in any real way. So you have pink, red, yellow, blue, and green. The shades of color in the inventory don't even match what are on the screen. And see, I've just been missing that. And that's the one thing that I've needed to finish this puzzle and get rid of the security guard to move the story towards the end. Which, unless something horrible happens, we will be done with the game at the end of this recording. But since this game is obscure and it has no hint system or anything helpful in here, I've had to use this walkthrough. The walkthrough I've found, first Google link, actually seems to be just a copy-pasted walkthrough, or the first part of a copy-pasted walkthrough designed to let you get all the achievements. And so now the second link on YouTube told me the same thing, basically, on how you could just skip the game and end quickly, mostly in an attempt to finish the game before your cell phone is drained. Apparently it drains every time you use it. It's not a time thing. And then there's no less than 4 more times you would have to load from a very specific save near the end of the second act and do different things to accomplish different actions. It seems there are 7 pieces of film and 7 pictures that you need to take for different achievements also. And yeah, most of the stuff is just garbage. So we're going to use this to make the green hair to make the mannequin look like the shoplifter. Place the cotton candy on the mannequin's head to serve as a makeshift wig. Okay. So now what? Oh, I also found out that in this section, when you're being chased by the people, the trolls, then you see their eyes on the screen, and you're supposed to go the opposite direction of their eyes. I never got that. With the mannequin set, you sneak away and hide. Sure enough, after a few minutes, the security rush has passed. Success. That should keep him busy for a while. You're now free to explore. Mall's eerily quiet. When it's empty, the footsteps echo the seem like miles. Alright. Contained further into the mall. So, I don't think there's anything in the fountain to even take. We took all the coins. So, what doesn't get explained here, as we now go to this part, is why any of these names, when we look at the phone book, would be anagrams of R.L. Stine. Like, the thing here is you would need an R, an L, an S, a T, E, an E, and an I. So Frighten has everything except for the L and the R. Frightening. But there really is nothing here that matches any of that. And the only thing you could take is, and maybe I'm not getting something here, is kind of a racist. Well, Stine is a Jewish name, and anything that ends in Berg sounds like a Jewish name, so it's Gulberg. And none of these other names inherently sound of Jewish descent. And guess which one's the right one according to the walkthrough? It's Gulberg. Like, I want to just get the wrong one now. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Memorize the number listed for Angstings, hoping that's a clever pseudonym for R.L. Stine. And we should be able to now call the phone. There is a thing. You need to feed coins in the slot before the phone will work. Okay. There's another thing where if you memorize that number and your phone was charged, you could use your cell phone. However, my phone's not charged, and I have yet, and I probably never will, find the one place where you can charge it. There's definitely an achievement for recharging your phone, so it's either you have to start a new game to get that achievement, or there was some outlet somewhere. Oh, here's an outlet. Okay. Found it. So, use cell phone. This was such a dumb idea. Plug your phone into the charge of the battery will increase as long as you leave it. The longer you leave it here. It's really ridiculous to have a map system built into your phone and then be unable to use it. Slide the food coins in a slot to make a satisfying clatter as they disappear. Now let's call. Dial the number you memorized, wait for it and wait as it rings and rings. Someone picks up hello. Rydo. Hi, you stammer. Is this R.L. Stine? My name is Rydo and I have an urgent... Sorry, the voice on the other end is not R.L. Stine. I think you have the wrong number. I hang up. So, let's now look at the, not the cell phone, open the phone book, and just do Doubtly. Memorize that number. And it wouldn't take you forever to just brute force the solutions, but you can actually use the phone now and you only need to pay once. Interesting. You dial the number you memorized and wait for it ring. Wait as it rings and rings. Someone picks up. Hello. Hi, you stammer. Is this our Stine? My name is Rydo and I have an urgent. Sorry, says the voice that didn't hear. It says the same response each time. And I don't think, unless there's some kind of Easter egg here, there's any reason to do this. Like, I really don't get this. Like, dread words, frighten, jitters, Eunice, Panicston, phobia, K-reap, despair, trimmer, Warrington. All of these are the same level of silly, ridiculous, spooky names as Ghoulberg is. Is there something about 7476 as the phone number? Not really. Not as far as we've known. We've seen this happen too many times, where the game really just kind of want to waste your time and make you brute force things for no reason. The same was true with the candy puzzle. There's no way, unless you're following instructions and a walkthrough, no way you would have gotten that candy puzzle on the first try, or even the 5th or 6th try. You had to find out what the weight of all the candy was first. Dial the number you memorized and wait. It rings and rings and rings. Someone picks up. After a long silence, they speak with obvious impatience. Yes? Yes, this is Rydo. I'm looking for R.L. Stine. Another pause, longer this time. Never heard of him. He's an author, you explain. He wrote these Goosebumps books everyone likes. Everyone likes them, he asks. So they're good. You find them scary? The man on the other end of the line seems to know about Goosebumps than he lets on. They're the scariest. You lay it on thick, hoping your hunch about the number was correct. My favorite, hold on. There's a rustling at the end. Someone here wants to talk to you. This is R.L. Stine, Master of Horror, says the identical sounding voice. And see, that sounds like a lot of lines of characterization and dialogue for the Jack Black character in the Goosebumps movie. Jack Black basically playing Jack Black playing R.L. Stine. I don't know if R.L. Stine really has any kind of fictional characterization in himself. That would be a great way for him to come back to the book series, but he's probably fine just if he was to write more. He's probably really, really old by now too, so they need somebody new to take up the R.L. Stine pen name and keep writing under that. You're Rydo, was it? It's definitely been R.L. Stine the entire call. That's right. Sorry, sir, but we don't have a lot of time. Slappy is here, and... Slappy? Why didn't you say so? He's serious. How'd he get free? Never mind, where are you? The town center Galleria. In what town? I wonder if he'll need the address. Okay, good. Now listen. You hear the car door open and shut on the end, and you must keep Slappy distracted. Do you understand? It's important the car starts. It's important. The car starts. Do whatever it takes to keep him busy. You can do this, Rydo. After a beat, he adds, I'll be there as soon as possible. R.L. Stine hangs up abruptly. Line goes dead. Okay. So, you unhook your phone and slip it back into your pocket. You feel whole again. And we've charged up enough that we can at least You stare at the map for several moments before realizing it won't update. Must be bad signal in here. So apparently you don't even get a map feature at all. I'm like, fuck, and there's no service. Something must be blocking the signal. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see if we can use the map here. Yes, we can. Alright, so I've missed entire things according to this map. Like, apparently there is some way to defeat this monster, but the walkthroughs don't care about it. Apparently there's some way to defeat this guy, but the walkthroughs don't care about it. And apparently there's some way to defeat these guys, but the walkthroughs don't care about it. And we have this office, security office. Let's see if we go back previously, and we are at the tunnels. What tunnels? The tunnels never got beaten in our house, and this is our house section. How come these are slightly white-ish? Yeah, why are those slightly whiter where everything else is kind of gray? And if we go before, the first act area is apparently done, as much as it's going to be done. And see, this is the wash where you want to drop a bunch of things down that hole right there for an achievement. And this is the bathroom with the laundry chute where you want to dump a bunch of things. So you can use the map, and if we try to call, hey, we can call Stine. Start to redial Stine's number, but think better. He's probably driving better safe than sorry. So I don't know if I'm really gonna. Well, now my phone's done. Dead again. Suppose we should probably see if we can get mannequin you're sending over is doing his job, just distracting the security guard. Should definitely not disturb them. So we could get a. Well, we'll double check just to save. Actually, if I was trying to get all the achievements, I wouldn't have saved since like the second act. Let's go here and see if we get a different ending. Get away from her, you! Security guard grabs and swings you into the massage chair too quickly to react. You collapse to the ground. Oh, there is a thing. He performs a little massage of his own, but it's extremely painful. Before long, you lose the ability to feel anything. There was another achievement for like using the mask in a couple places, actually. Twice. Where is the mask, actually? Did we lose it? Oh, here it is. Apparently you can wear it and then wear it again, and if you wear it twice and use the facelifter in that area, which we can't access now, that would act as a way of stopping of unlocking an achievement. I'm trying to think how you would stop the mannequins. It doesn't seem like there is a way. Right. So we take on Slappy now, and let's just finish this game. Steal your nerves. And the one thing I could see is maybe using the hint camera on the dummy. It's probably not worth wasting to film it, so you even know. So this final puzzle is just a conversation puzzle like the ant ghosts witch lady. I guess she wasn't a ghost, or maybe she was. I don't even know who that lady, old lady was that was in your house. We didn't get any backstory here. Like, it feels like this game should have either followed the direct events of one Goosebumps story, or at the very least included a significant portion of the Goosebumps stories that are being referenced, even if they were just like in some kind of ebook format where you could just read the whole book. Maybe you need to read the books before you could even solve the puzzle. R.L. Stine books are kids' books, so I imagine they're not going to run more than at most 400 or 500 pages, probably in triple line spacing and big words too. So yeah, you could certainly go with the Skyrim style of gameplay here, and we could have covered this game as we were reading books, or it could have been a thing where you read a book and you get sucked into the book and then you have to find a way out. That's probably a very decent idea for a game like this, or for a movie like this, is had people fallen into the Goosebumps books instead of the Goosebumps falling into the real world. Just flip that idea the other way. You could limit the story to just telling one Goosebumps story, or two Goosebumps story, or three Goosebumps stories. You could have Slappy as the main bad guy, giving out these Goosebumps books to different kids, and you could even jump around between 2 or 3 different stories and 2 or 3 groups of kids. Let's look at the dummy and move things on. The figure on the floor looks like a ventriloquist puppet. Is it Slappy? The animation kind of flickers there. Now the puppet has different hair and everything. Where's Slappy? Alright. Wow, and see, the camera just jumped out backwards too. I wonder if that was supposed to be an animation of you jumping back. Slappy, I'm so glad you could make it. What? Who are you? So we need to stall completely. And I don't think it's an audio cue or anything, or his eyes looking one way or the other. Don't give a name. I'm the kid who's gonna stop you once and for all. Oh well, it's a pleasure to meet you. What's your plan? How are you gonna stop me? Seems like I have different lines of dialogue here than before. Let's see, stammer it out or hammer it home. We're trying to stall, so I think I'm supposed to stammer it out. Well, I'm sure I can think of something. No, kid, you won't. You want to know how I know that? Snark or sincere? Let's keep him talking. Sincere. Probably because I clearly don't have a plan. Well, that, but mainly because you're not R.L. Stine. Nobody else stands a snowball chance in Miami. Let's go with why. Oh yeah? What makes him so special? He created all of us monsters, for one, with his special typewriter. And now I'm turning them all against him. So the idea of a magical typewriter creating all the monsters, kind of like a Pandora's box-esque concept brought into a modern world, is interesting, but then you kind of need the backstory of where the typewriter came from. And did R.L. Stine intentionally create all these monsters, or just accidentally? Let's see. Distracted or distract him? Let's act distracted to keep him talking. Hold on, R.L. Stine has a special typewriter that brings monsters to life? He's the reason you're ruining the town? That's right, he channeled all his pain into us, creating monsters after monster. We are delightfully terrible creatures, and people loved us. Yep. And see, I didn't see any, like, too much pain in the character of R.L. Stine in the Goosebumps movies, so I don't think Jack Black has it in him to act as a character who is a pained writer. But once he had his fame and his fans, he turned his back on us. We became his secret shame. Flatter or snicker? Let's snicker. Oh, please, save me the sob story. You're on hundreds of book covers all around the world. Stine is hardly pushing you into the shadows. It almost feels like you could pick anything here and you'd win. Otherwise, I'm screwing this up and I'm going to have to try again, following the walkthrough more directly. Shut up, ugh. Of course, a dumb kid can't understand where I'm coming from. Why am I wasting my time? So do I gloat or do I reason with him? Let's go with reason. See, I think I probably just picked the wrong thing and he's now mad at me with a different face. Think about it, Slappy. You could have taken me out 10 times over. Maybe there's some good in you yet. You're throwing your voice at the wrong puppet. I'm evil through and through. Cocky or jokey? Let's go jokey. Haha. Well, hey there, Mr. Slappy. You say you're evil? How evil are you? Blah blah blah. This has gone on long enough and I have important things to do. It's time to say goodnight. Slappy lunges towards you and determined to put your lights out. Do I run or do I fight back? Let's see. If I have the capability to fight back, I'd say fight back in any video game, in almost any situation. But we've, throughout this entire game, determined that we have no ability to fight back and we die anytime we see one of these scenarios. So my instinct would be to run because we have succeeded at running away from things. You spin around searching desperately for escape, you pick a direction and take off, weaving through the bookshelves as you go. Unfortunately, you come to a dead end and don't appreciate the irony. You glance over your shoulder to see Slappy, eyes gleaming with hate, leaping onto your back. He slams you to a nearby shelf and books tumble on top of you. Okay, yeah, and that's such a long... There's such a long, like, sequence. I'm just gonna use the walkthrough and follow the direct path because yeah, I don't see a reason to do that any other way. So the order and as well skip through all of this lines of dialogue. See, he's real big and then it's like Slappy steps back because the bookshelves in the background doesn't shift in any kind of perspective. So that's what so it says don't give name. We did that. Stammer it out. We did that. Be sincere. We did that. And it says say whatever instead of why. So clearly you can get all the way to the end of this conversation with making some mistakes. The main mistake I made is I was supposed to fight back. You're full on obsessed with this Stine guy, aren't you? What's the big deal? He's the reason we're all here. We're gonna make him pay for giving us life, then locking us away in those books. So we challenge now. This locked in the book. Is that really the worst thing that's ever happened to you? Doesn't seem so bad. Well, the other dummies, they called me sandwich for brains. Okay. Scrutinize. So we're on a completely different line of dialogue, but it seems like you still could have gotten it to the ending. And when they said that, how did it make you feel? Let's dig deep. Don't try to psychoanalyze me, kid. You don't want to know what's inside my walnut noggin. Shrug. Actually, I know you like to talk to your victims, which allowed me to keep you occupied this whole time. I knew it. So what's your game, kid? And now it says made you look is the option. It's really him, R.L. Stine, right over there. What? Where? Nobody's there. You should worry less about who's behind me and more about who's in front of you. So, yeah, you get like a whole different line of dialogue there at the end, but it's called all the same thing. And this time, fight back's on the left. We click it. You stand to your ground, bringing your arms forward, ready for attack. You aren't sure how to fight an evil dummy, but what choice do you have? Just as Slappy reaches striking distance, the voice booms through the store and stops the puppet in his tracks. So, it seems like this would happen regardless of what choices you made in the conversation, as long as you've called R.L. Stine before. I don't think you can win unless you've called R.L. Stine, because R.L. Stine is about to show up.
Not so fast!
So we got 3 words from Jack Black there in this game. 3 words of voice acting. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I would have had Jack Black in a sound studio for at least a day, and we would have made him make, I don't know, some kind of hints or descriptions of Goosebumps books, little videos that you could have pulled up on your phone, so that his voice would have played throughout this whole game and he would have been a real character. I don't think you can play as R.L. Stine and Jack Black in this game. You probably could, but then that'd be a little weird, but it would be fine, frankly. But it's really kind of pathetic to add him in the last 5 seconds. What? But how? R.L. Stine. And this is not animated to look like Jack Black, not really. Rydo filled me in on your little plan. It's impressive, but unfortunately not impressive enough. So apparently this game was under production before Jack Black got hired, and then they just had him voice this animated version. Maybe that is what that may be what R.L. Stine really looks like, but I don't know how many people would know that. Slappy says, "No, it's too early. Nothing's ready yet. You gotta give me a redo. You've done more than enough damage for one day, Slappy. It's time to go back in the book." "No, you can't do this. You created me. Why do you just hide me away like some mistake? I am not a mistake. My books were meant to entertain kids. That's what you monsters are for. The only mistake was letting you out into the world where you could hurt people." Well, why did he do that? Ever. "You'll regret this, Papa. Next time I won't be playing a game. Next time Slappy will be the puppet master. Shuts up. ... and get in the book." No voice acting for any of that. And by the way, the books in the movie don't look like that. Okay, so now you're R.L. Stine, and apparently I was playing as an African-American girl this time, the one and only. Thanks for distracting Slappy. Oh, you were listening? Had to make the entire entrance good. Writing is all about timing, and it's every R.L. Stine types come to life. So, wow, this is just like the beginning. You're gonna have to go back to the beginning and play it slow. We followed Mr. Stine to town as he trapped each monster inside the book they came from. Yeah, that's kind of what the books look like in the movie. Took us most of the things. Oh, she is an African American. She's just slightly more tan. Madison, like in Delaware? Madison? I said nothing. Forget everything you heard. Time to go. Hey Mom, sorry it's so late. Chad and I were about to head home. Oh, you bet you were. You get back here this minute. We had the craziest day. You won't believe. Save it. I don't want excuses. I want you to. So you've got like voice acting of your mom for no reason. I mean, everything's on the floor. You left the fridge open. I can't even talk about the upstairs. Wait until your father gets home. We're gonna have a serious talk about your video game privileges. So yeah, they would just have overlaid this female character, or the male character I chose to play. That was a really stupid decision to give me, considering there was probably less than 4 gendered pronouns in the entire game, and only 2 scenes at the very end where you see yourself at all. And I guess at one point you see you're a female silhouette of a reflection in the game. It would have been better storytelling to play as a male character, because Stine is a male character, and they were hinting throughout the game that he is the special guest, and we're waiting for him. So that could have been you. You could have been the special, basically, in the story, if you were playing as a male character a lot, and it would make sense in those lines of dialogue. But it didn't apply to me because I was playing as a female character. There's way too many people I'm already seeing on these credits for as bad as this game is, particularly since it's a 2015 game. I just don't feel like Sony cared, and I don't feel like WayForward cared. And I think in the end, Goosebumps as a series, if you're going to break it into this, it's a growing multimedia genre, and not just keep it as the books and the TV series that have already existed, but add this game and then add the Jack Black movie. They needed to do a better job of making just even a modern point-and-click adventure game. They're missing things that anybody who had even played point-and-click adventure games in modern day would have said you're missing these things, or these puzzles have crazy moon logic, or they don't make any sense. It's just like, it's just not good. And I getting away from how bad it is as an adventure, point-and-click adventure game, it's just bad as a game because you're introduced to your character and you never see him until the end, which is weird. Like, why ever show me my character if that's the case? So many games never show you what your character looks like, but to do it at the end and not at the beginning seems crazy. Skipping the cutscenes at the beginning and the end where they just move really fast are confusing. So Slappy somehow copied another ventriloquist style or made his own thing. Basic things are missing, certainly in this game, with like there's no unlocks of any screenshots, there's no extras. They have the achievements, but then the achievements would require you to play this game like 5 times over. Is ridiculous. And just getting back to like spelling errors. Where was the spelling error in this? It was like a no space at some point. Yeah, no space here at the after the copyright. 2015. Yeah, this is really just as cheap as you can get it adventure game, and I could think, if I gave it 5 minutes, of probably a dozen adventure games that would be better to play instead of this. And you know, as I'm wrapping up here, the point-and-click adventure series is an old style of gameplay. It really doesn't need somebody trying to bring it back and doing a bad job. Yeah, and just being lazy about it. It's not even, I don't even think this is what you should have targeted if you were going to make a lazy Goosebumps games. Why not just do a straight up visual novel and get rid of the puzzle elements completely? Since Goosebumps are novels, that would kind of make sense. I bet there's plenty of visual novel you could have made based on Goosebumps series. There's a whole series of Nancy Drew video games and Sherlock Holmes video games, so you could certainly have gone down those routes. Anyways, I'm kind of spinning in circles. I'm done with Goosebumps. I'm not going to bother to try to get all the achievements. And generally just disappointed. I suppose the movie is now done. It's happened. There's probably never going to be a sequel made, so Goosebumps as a series could certainly just try to make some new games, try to write some new books, and try to keep people's attention that way. Assuming horror stories for kids are in fashion right now, and people aren't still just obsessed with Harry Potter. I think maybe people are still going to be obsessed with Harry Potter for the next couple decades. That's it for this series. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. When you subscribe, click the notification bell too, please. If you want a friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below in the description box. And if you want to support me, I'm asking people to friend me on Steam and either gift me a game, whether it's a game off my wishlist or just something you'd like to see me cover, or send me a gift card. If you happen to have a Steam code just lying around, you can send that through Twitter direct message. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.